Here are 5 common myths that might be wasting your time if your goals this year are to get in shape, lose fat, and build muscle. A lot of these things I've learned through personal experimentation and through coaching guys over the past 8 years to help them get in shape. And if you've never seen my videos before, hi, my name is Matteo. This first myth is expensive. It could have meaningful impacts on your health and your overall quality of life. And the myth is that insert diet here is best for fat loss. I can get into all the nitty-gritty about all the trendy diets out there, but here, let me just show you something cool. Everyone knows you need to be in a calorie deficit for an effective fat loss diet, but here's what they don't tell you. Most of these diets help you in one of 3 ways. That's a clock. Look at that egg. And that, believe it or not, is a scale. A diet that helps you lose weight will control either how much food you eat, when you eat, or what you eat, or a combination of all 3. When we're talking about diets that control what you eat, we're talking about cutting out a lot of food groups. So think diets like keto, or even vegan, or paleo. It makes it a lot harder to eat enough total calories if you cut out entire food groups. Same deal with intermittent fasting. If you can only eat for 6 or 8 hours of the day, it's gonna be hard to cram enough food in just to maintain your weight. Some folks take it even one step further and eat just 1 meal a day. Man, if you sit down to a 2,000 calorie dinner every night, geez, good for you. This honestly sounds horrible to me. Or you could assign values to foods like calories or points and keep a running total throughout the day and then stop once you hit your goal. In any case, all 3 of these diets help you do one thing, and that's control your calorie intake. Now look, I'm agnostic about this. Honestly, whatever gets you moving in the right direction is awesome. But I will say that after being a fat kid and honestly just kind of the chubby kid for most of my life, people called me Fatteo in my family. I just got fucking fed up with it. And I tried keto and I felt like shit. I tried fasting and I got lightheaded and I felt low energy all the time. And I was honestly just tired of not seeing the scale move and not seeing my body change in the way I wanted it to. So I naturally gravitated towards tracking my calories and my protein intake, and that's what worked best for me. But I'm keeping it real here with you. If you find that one of these approaches seems a little bit more realistic to you and is what helps you get moving and start losing weight, then by all means go for it. It'd be awesome if you could find a way of eating that fits in with your lifestyle and allows you to have energy to do the things you love. I personally love lifting weights, I love doing jiu-jitsu, and I want to have enough energy for that. That's where most of the lean and healthy people differ from a lot of people who struggle to lose weight. People who struggle to lose weight often just see activity as a way to burn calories, which is a whole other can of worms. Let's talk about it. There is really only so much cardio you can do in a day before it just becomes unreasonable. So it's not a super effective way to lose fat. I mean, let's imagine you want to lose even a pound a week. That's doing an extra 500 calories burned of cardio every single day. That's a solidly hard hour on the treadmill for a lot of us. If you look back through some of my videos, you'll see that I've been down that road. I lost all the weight. I went down to 145 pounds. I look like a stick figure. It's not a good look. And you might be thinking, well, because you were doing all that cardio, obviously you were eating away at your muscle because cardio kills gains, right? Fuck it, I'll give you a twofer here. Cardio does not kill your gains. I used to honestly be worried about that too, and it's hilarious to even think back on that. Because at the time when I was worried whether or not going for a run was gonna make my biceps smaller, I wasn't even keeping a training log. I wasn't training very hard in the gym, I never filmed any of my sets, my technique was garbage, and I didn't push hard in my workouts at all. Cardio was absolutely the least of my concerns. If that's something you're worried about, I strongly recommend you just take a look at everything you're doing to build muscle right now and make sure that that's all good first. Are you sleeping well? Are you managing your stress? Are you eating enough protein, enough total calories? Is your training quality and quantity high enough? I think once you get to the point where you're sufficiently training hard for muscle growth, you realize that it's gonna take a lot of activity to meaningfully take away from your hypertrophy or muscle building training. And most guys just don't have enough time in the week to meaningfully train for muscle growth and impact it with some cardio training. Maybe if training is your full-time job, this is something you need to worry about, but for most people, it's not really an issue. I will add one caveat there, which is this: if you are planning to do your cardio directly before your weight training workouts, that's not really the best time for it, just because it can make you a little bit more tired. Especially if you're training legs and you're doing an ultra fatiguing style of cardio, like the Stairmaster, and then going to do your squats and deadlifts. You're probably limiting your ability to perform in the workout, but it's not because of the interference effect between cardio and weight training. It's just that your legs are fucking tired. Remember earlier when I said I did a bunch of cardio and I did keto and I got down to 145 pounds and I just looked like a prisoner of war? A commonly given piece of advice is to lose the fat first and then build muscle later. That is completely garbage advice, and I'm about to prove it to you. This is what happens when I get fired up while we're filming a video. Oh, the anticipation is killing me. We'll take this upstairs and I'll show you what this is. These are the bod pod test results from a client of mine who wants to remain nameless. If you've never seen a bod pod before, it's a spaceship looking device that uses pressure to measure how much body fat you have and how much muscle you have. As you can see, this gentleman got his first bod pod scan on the 2nd of October, 2024, and he got his second analysis on the 5th of November, 2024, 1 month apart. He only lost 4.5 pounds of total weight, but here's the crazy part. He lost 8.1 pounds of fat mass off his body while building 3.65 pounds of muscle or lean mass. Are these typical results? No, this is fucking amazing. And for those who don't know, yes, I run a coaching business where I work with guys one-on-one to help them get in great shape. This is the exact thing I wish I had when I first tried to lose weight and wanted to get in shape. Not to mention coaching all these people makes me money, which is fantastic, so I can create a future for myself and my girlfriend and our future family, and hopefully buy a new car that doesn't look like it's about to explode. Back to the body fat. This guy totally could have just done cardio and dropped his calories really low. Do you think he would have lost the same amount of fat or more fat? I think probably pretty close to the same. But in this scenario, he comes out with 3.5 pounds more muscle at the end of just the first month. Let's play this out to the next 6 months, 8 months, or a year. This guy could be down 20 or 25 pounds of fat while putting on 6, 7, 9 pounds of muscle. Fat loss and muscle growth can happen at the same time as long as you give your body a good reason to do so. Train hard for muscle growth with weights a few days per week. Get plenty of sleep, manage your stress, and eat enough protein. You're gonna do all this while you are in a calorie deficit so that you're losing weight week after week, but not so fast that you're losing something insane like 5 pounds a week. By the way, this is the fastest way to see visual progress in how your body looks and how it fits and feels in clothing. Unless you don't care at all about having any more muscle, then just go and do your thing. By the way, if you're not sure how much weight you wanna lose or how many calories you should be eating, then download my free weight loss calculator. It'll spit out a 6-month plan for exactly what weight milestones you should aim to hit by when, and give you a daily calorie goal to make sure you're on the right track. I might have convinced you of this already, but a lot of people seem to think that losing fat takes a long time. I hate to break it to you, but most of these people are just 2 pump chumps who are fatter than they think they are. Was that too harsh? Here's what I mean. Bet you didn't see this coming. Okay, look, this is what 50 mini wheats looks like. Just kidding, that's only 45 mini wheats, and you probably didn't notice these 5 were missing, did you? That's because when you have a lot of fat to lose, it's hard to actually visually see the progress you're making. If you have 50 pounds of fat on your body ready to be lost, and you lost 5 pounds this month, it's just not that easy to really see, especially if it's spread out all over your body. Sometimes that fat hangs onto your butt, your thighs, your face, your back, and it's just coming off everywhere evenly. You can lose a pound of fat in 4 or 5 days if you're being serious about it. The crazy thing is that a pound of fat is a lot bigger than this too. Picture like a pound of butter. Every few days, one of those is coming off you. The reason it feels so slow is because most people give up in week 2, week 3, or week 4. Because after you've lost your first 30 pounds of fat and there's only 20 more to go, things start to really look crazy. When you lose 1 or 2 pounds of fat this week, that's starting to make a pretty big difference. And the results just keep showing up faster and faster as you get leaner and leaner. Just quit fiddling around, put your foot down, and get fat loss over with. You can put in a 4 out of 10 level of effort and get 2 out of 10 results, or you can put in an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 effort and get 8, 9, 10 out of 10 results. Sometimes it just takes that extra little bit of push and focus to see the serious progress you're after. There you go. Okay, speaking of things you probably think I shouldn't be eating, but I do anyways. Carbohydrates do not make you fat, and here's what you need to know. This is a source of carbohydrates. In fact, there are 43 grams of carbohydrates in a cup and a half of this A&W root beer. I could easily put back 500-600 calories of this and then not feel very full afterwards. Conversely, the mighty potato, 1 pound of raw potato is 300 calories, I think 312. And after I finish eating that pound of potato, I want to unbuckle my belt, lay down, and not eat anything or think about food for the next few hours. Scientists have found boiled potatoes to be one of the most satisfying foods on the planet. And bro, I gotta tend to agree, a nice smashed up potato with some beef on the side. Oh my God, this is amazing. Both of these are sources of carbs. Man, I got a cake in the fridge right now that you probably think is carbs too. But the reality is that cake has a bunch of fats in it as well, and it's super calorie dense. Bottom line is this, it is not carbs making you fat, it is calories that make you fat. When you ingest more calories than your body burns every day, it's stored as body fat. So you can enjoy these fun things in moderation and plenty of carbs as long as you keep your calories in check. Let's not even talk about carbs for muscle growth in this video because I think there's a pretty compelling reason to include these bad boys in your diet if you want to get in the best shape possible. If you want to hear more about that, just leave a comment below and let me know. Not to mention the fact that in your life, you're going to have to eat like a regular person sometimes, and that's kind of hard to do if you completely avoid carbs. Like what happens when you go out with your friends for dinner or you want a beer? I don't know, maybe avoiding carbs just didn't work for me, but when I finally understood that these things can be helpful, it completely changed the game for me. I hope by learning about these myths, you can avoid wasting time like I did in the past. I'll just keep ranting about this forever. I'm getting fired up, so I gotta cut myself off at 5. But please let me know in the comment section what you realized was a fitness myth that held you back. Maybe some other folks will be able to learn from you. Thank you so much for watching as always. Be sure to thumbs up this video to tell the algorithm that other people should see it, and subscribe to the channel so I can see you in the next one. Peace.